We don't need anything else. You can just submit to underwriting. Now, I will tell you though, if the group is currently insured on another major medical policy, if you can get the group's existing policy and their existing rates, odds are you're going to get a lower final underwritten rate from census-based underwriting. There's a lot of employers that'll try to hold on to their renewals to their chest because they're like, no, if I show you the numbers that I got, you're just going to barely beat them and make more money off of me. I assure you that is not how this works. We are in the business of closing as much business as we possibly can. Okay, we have no idea what delta is going to make that employer move, right? There's no way for us to look if their existing rate is $600 a month. There's no way we're sitting back going, if we just priced this at $525 when we could have priced it at $475, let's make some extra money and that's not how this works. Because we spit out a higher rate, they don't buy. No, we are always going to give you the lowest rate that'll be offered, period. But that's how employers think. Some of them think that we're going to, you or us, or because I know some insurance companies do let you tweak up comp and tweak it down. That's not how this works. Right? Everything's stock. So why is it important to get that information where you can? Well, you can tell the employer, if I get it, odds are you're going to get a lower rate. If I can't get it, hey, I'm still going to get you a good rate. Still going to hopefully get your business. It may just not be as low as it could have been. And the reason being is because when we're census-based underwriting, right, we're not looking at health questions. We're not looking at, full data. We're looking at data points. If the data says that there's a claim going on household 2, without any renewal rates or existing plan docs, then underwriting has to assume that claim that we can see occurring in household 2, we have to assume it's day 1, which means that the entire cost of that claim still has not been incurred or paid. If underwriting can look at existing rates and renewal, then underwriting can see the trend within the existing policy, and underwriting can then predict how deep into that claim household 2 is. And if underwriting can say, hey, we think household 2 is actually 75% through the claim cycle of that condition, well, we're not on the hook for much. Give them a preferred rate or a lower rate. You know what I'm saying? But if underwriting can't see, the trend within the existing policy, then underwriting has to assume that that claim is very early on, and that when they, make an offer, they have to assume they're going to pay out more. So it helps, not in every case, but in a lot of cases. Hope that makes sense. But let's look at the process to submit. Again, very straightforward, similar to the 2 to 9. Just make sure you're using the right link. I mean, I get it. That's why we're actually just check that. Make sure you're using the right link. You understand that final rates are not quotes. We have to have a specific census, okay? I should go back and say, in the groups 2 to 9, remember I told you the employer had to pick out the plan up front? Okay, not in 10 plus. Don't care. Once the employer gets through underwriting, then the employer is going to have the ability to offer 3 plans to their employees. They can make 3 plans available, and they can make that decision post-underwriting. The main thing is that you have to understand, if you give us a census that does not have the exact information on the employees, or there are fields missing here, it's going to be rejected. Sometimes we get agents that they send us a scanned PDF of an invoice and a census. A PDF census, there is no way for us to sit around and extract all that data from the PDF and start entering it into this census for you. I'm sorry, guys, gals, we're not doing it. We would be so bogged down transferring data from PDFs to Excel sheets. We wouldn't close anything. So you're the one making good money here on these deals. What you got to do. So make sure that's right. Make sure that you understand that to not add, again, we're just trying to remind you, do not add the waivers. Groups currently insured, like I talked about, you know that groups currently insured generally get a better deal if you can get that information, not required. This one here, groups 10 to 49, everything I just told you is correct. We don't need existing plan docs, it just helps. Groups 50 plus, they do currently have to have a major medical policy to go to census-based underwriting, all right? And we do have to have an existing plan and existing rates for groups 50 plus. There's no way for us to sit here and take a census of 75 employees who are all uninsured with a group that's never offered coverage before and possibly, be able to produce a true underwritten rate or even set you up for success in that arrangement. Because all that's going to happen in those groups 50 plus is the employer is going to say, oh, I'm subject to ACA penalties now. Well, here's all 75 of my employees. Go to underwriting. Then we go to underwriting. And then we come back and the employer's like, oh my gosh, I have to keep those premiums less than 8.5%. Okay, so let's just offer the $7,000 deductible because that's all I can afford. And then you go back and then like 40 of those employees don't want to enroll. And then we're going back to underwriting and we're getting a new rate and the rate's higher. And then we come back and 5 to 10 more don't want to because the rate went up. And then we go back to underwriting and then we come back and the rates go up and then we go back to, you see what I'm saying? It's not going to work. It's trying to go from, in groups 50 plus, trying to go from no plan whatsoever being installed to installing a full-blown underwritten major medical policy is not only so much work, it's almost unrealistic. It is it's so rare one of those deals actually closes. So to go to census-based underwriting with more than 50 employees where you're subject to ACA mandates, you need to currently be insured. We have to have your existing plan, and we have to have, your existing rates and renewal. We have that, and here's what we all understand. We know that there's a baseline in the group. All right. Now we've got these 60 employees. We get it. You actually got 90 full-timers. But we got these 60, and we can see the risk, and we can just come back and install. But if they don't have an existing plan in place, it's real simple. Go sell SBA, MVP all day long, install that group today, solve that employer's problem today. You can do that on a much lower cost MVP plan that's guaranteed issue. Solves penalty A, solves penalty B, and the rates are the rates. There's no guesswork. So you can figure out, you'll enroll them on SBA MVP, and then later, if they want to go to underwriting and go to major medical later, well, now we can, right? Because we got a group that's currently insured where we can see who's actually going to be on the plan and we can actually underwrite. So that's the deal on groups 50 plus. They just currently need to be insured, so just install MVP and then you can always come back later. But I tell you what, groups that are not currently insured over 50, major medical is not their route, not year one. It may take them a couple years to work into major medical. They just need to be on MVP, solve the employer's penalty problem, give the employees great benefits, and then you're working from revenue. That solves your problem. Otherwise, you're sitting over here trying to install major medical in a large group that's never going to get installed, and you're not making anything, right? Now, we're very competitive in groups 50 plus on major medical when there's existing insurance in place. So again, under 50, don't need that information. Final underwritten rates can take up to 7 business days. This is where you're going to attach the census. If the group's currently insured, if you want to supply rates or if they're over 50 and you have to supply existing plans, just attach it here. and let us know your effective date. Same thing. 12/1, 1/1, 2/1, right? Click submit.